Greetings and welcome to the rise of a great civilization. We will finally begin our grand campaign in Imperium Universalis, which is a mod for Europa Universalis 4, putting you back into the ancient world where you can play as any city-state, tribe or whatever that may or may not have existed 2,500 plus years ago. And after great deliberation, I have finally landed on the choice being Rome. And some of you might be disappointed by this due to it being a fairly obvious choice. I mean, it's called Imperium Universalis, for heaven's sake. Rome is kind of centered on it. And the reason for it is simply that Rome was there for a very, very long time of it. And it started as this small little thing and eventually grew to encompass most of, for it, the known world. And a lot of players in Europa Universalis 4, etc., take these small states like Ulm, for example, and conquers the rest of Europe. This is sort of similar, like taking Ulm and taking over Europe. That's unrealistic. That's unhistorical, whatever you want to call it. Taking Rome, however, as a small little city-state amongst a great many city-states at the time that was superior to it, like Greece, for example, with its many, many city-states, and Carthage, which already is a flourishing trade nation, and conquering almost all of the Mediterranean and surrounding areas. I mean, that may sound, if you think about it, that's kind of ahistorical too, but that's actually what happened. So that makes it more intriguing. Let's just begin. I won't defend my choice anymore. Let's just begin as Rome in Imperium Universalis. Initializing game. Still doing it. Well, okay, we're done. I was just about to look at my imaginary clock on my arm, and then suddenly it was done. So we are Rome here, we are Regnum Romanum. We have a king, Rex Romae Servius Tullius of Rome. He's 30 years old and he's fairly decent. Inaugurated quite a while ago, actually. He's been king for 16 years. Did he become king when he's 14? That's rather impressive. And upon his death, a Roman noble will succeed to the throne. I actually don't know too much about early Rome. I know something about being Etruscan kings, and that's why they kind of were hesitant about kings, but that's really all. Another thing, when I was looking around, I looked at Egypt first, because Egypt is an interesting choice. I always liked ancient Egypt. And I just realized that two of the main cities these days of Egypt, when you think about Egypt, you really think about Cairo and you think about Alexandria. Neither of which existed at this point, which I found to be interesting. You had stuff like Thebes and Luxor and what's that other place called? The one over here? It has a name too. And yeah, I mean, Egypt could have been, but they start a bit too big. There's no real challenge. I mean, I need my challenge, otherwise how can I ever survive? All right, we have southern threats. We can take that, which would involve annexing Antium and Anxur. So these guys over here, the Volci. They are part of the Umbri, and apparently they are in the same culture group as us. So that would be fine to take. We could also subjugate the Marsi, which are over here. They apparently like us, so maybe that's not the best idea first. Do they start with any alliances? No, but they start to hate us. Maybe we should take the southern threat first. We'll take that one. Oh no, now I realize it. There was the option to build an army for our nation. Could have taken that first. Could have. Alright, so we won't start food imports or exports for that matter immediately. We will simply just remove this so we don't have that popping up. There we go. And now we need a few rivals. We have Sabini, Piceni, Valaris, Thapsus as our current rivals. We should really select these guys. They're Volci, since we're trying to attack them. And then we should probably take one of our rivals, which would be Sabini. Isn't that where the rape of the Sabine women come from? Though it wasn't really a rape in the modern word, it was more taking away older women or something. Like more kidnapping, really? I think so, at least. Alright, enough with bad history, talking about stuff I don't even know about. Let's instead pick the final rival. Alright, we have Sabini, we have the Volci, we need someone else. Do you like us? Piceni, they're pretty big, they're over here. They have Ancona and the areas around it. Ancona, of course, being a city. Yep, It's true. You may not believe it, but it's true. It's a city. There we go. You have a free advice as well. And now it turns out it's just a region called Ancona, and it's not a city at all. Let's actually find out. Ah, no, look, it says Ancona here. It's a city. Alright, we have a decent balance at the moment. We start with a fair bit of coin for where we are right now. Not too much, not too little, but we only have 3 provinces. We have Rome itself, Roma, Praeneste, and we also have Ostia. That is all. We have a decent-ish fleet, which we might as well use to protect our trade in the northern Mediterranean. That will be great. And then we can slowly start time, because I want to see how the alliances are settling in this area before any wars are declared. The Volci, for example, I'm very tempted to attack them. But now the Vestini wants an alliance, and I am not going to say no. The Vestini being the guys over here, which could be a good help against the Piceni. Because the Piceni are evil. Evil creatures. Italic hoplites or Samnite slingers. I find it interesting that we have Samnite slingers when the Samnite sees... No, wait, Samnites. No, this is Sabini. Where are the Samnites then? Are there different people? I don't know. It's fine. Anyway, we get some Samnites. Right, we currently have some cavalry, but we want some Samnite slingers too. How about we go for this as an increase of the army? It would put us at 7 out of our current 8 in cap. It should be fine. Completely fine. The Volci have no friends at the moment. So that could be useful. We have an alliance offer from the Palini, something like that. I don't know where they are. Oh, they're over here. Okay, let's ally them. They're the guys with these 2 areas. So they connect us up with Vestini, so we have this band of alliances going from Ostia all the way to Hatria, which is nice. Servius Tullius reforms, Curiate reforms. Until the Servian reforms, the passing of laws and judgment was the prerogative of the Cornitia Curiata, made up from 30 curiae. Well, that's great. Alright, what does it do? Lose administrative power and stability, and gain the reforms until a long time, giving minus 5% development cost, minus 10% stability cost modifier, and minus 1% interest per annum. I mean, sure, you lose the stability. But imagine this is for about 860 years. Plus minus a few. Minus 5% development cost may not sound that much, but over time, over all that time, it could be useful. And the stability cost modifier could be useful. I say we go for it. Reforms. Let's use the reforms. Though it is pretty bad it happened at this point, because now we are losing money. Unnecessarily so. But it's what we have to do. Sometimes you have to lose money to make money. Aurunci, how many alliances are we using? I don't want to reach my cap yet. Oh, that would be my cap. Oh no, he's infertile. He made his reforms, I don't need him anymore. Aurunci, where are you? Aurunci, oh, over here. They could be a help against these guys, especially now when they have alliances. They have the Piceni, I mean. And they also have the Vestini. Not the Vestini. Not the Vestini, where are they? There's so many small nations over here. Jesus. Neapolis, Pompeii. They are somewhere. Okay, let's ally them. They could be useful. So now we're allied with these guys too. So if we were to declare war on them, how many would ally? Aurunci would join in. Vestini would join in on the enemy side, and also the Piceni. Great. Great. I don't even know where they are. Vestini. Maybe I could search for them. No, well, they're probably somewhere around here. I'm tired of looking after them. Right, let's just get our armies up and ready so we can do an attack on the Volci. Would be great to increase our territory by almost 100% in size, that is, not in amount of provinces. But size is a good thing too. Size is useful. How's it going in Greece over here? We have Athens that is fairly big, and we also have support for merchants. We also have Sparta, which is fairly big. They have all of these places over here. I was tempted to pick Sparta, by the way, but I don't know enough about Sparta. I mean, I don't know enough about anything, really, but I know a bit more about certain things than others. That was a bunch of useless statements that meant absolutely nothing. There, everyone gathered in Rome. We have 6,000 men now in Roma. 6,000 men that needs a leader. We could recruit one, and we will. He's awful, but he's our leader. The Picenia, I don't know how many men you have. I just don't want you to have too many. They have 3,000 men. They have 3,000 men too, which is not good. You know what idea that struck me when I was looking at Egypt also? I was following the Nile going all the way down into Nubia and beyond. And I was thinking, imagine a movie that is set in ancient Egypt. And it's one of those classic American Hollywood disaster movies where one guy is realizing this conspiracy to destroy something and he is hunting to try to stop it. But imagine that in ancient Egypt, and he learns that the Nubians or whatever are planning to poison the Nile River, just throwing in I don't know what to poison it, and everyone that drinks further downstream will die, and that will be the end of Egypt itself, and then they will invade and take it over. And this one guy, a priest or whatever, he is tasked, the only guy who can stop it all. And that's his job. That's what the movie's about. Trying to stop them. I don't know why, but I would watch it. We got an heir. He will be named Gnaeus. And we also married Claudia, who immediately got an heir. Very, very productive. Incredibly so. She's actually good. She's a good queen. She's about as good queen as Servius Tullius is a good king. And Gnaeus is... I've seen better. The Roman people have seen better, and they also deserve better. Currently have this. Could use either some of these or some of that. These are really good offensively. These are more balanced, I think. And the horsemen are also pretty darn good offensively. As I think I will use some more hoplites. They will be most appreciated in the defense of Rome. We're currently not really losing any money, but we can now stabilize our country, which is always good. We got the Olympic Games running. Some things never change. Some things never change. The Olympic Games always rolling, it seems. Whether you play Victoria 2, when the Olympic Games starts, or whether you play Hearts of Iron 4, or whether you play Europa Universalis with this mod, the Olympic Games will be a running theme. It will occur, whether you like it or not, in Munich or elsewhere. Alright, they can go a bit faster. Prepare. Our little friend over here, Aurunci, has 5,000 men, which is more than the Volci have. The problem is that if we want to have them on our side, we will have to bribe them. We have to offer them territory from this, which means we would have to share. I'm not a big fan of sharing. Not a big fan at all. Sometimes you have to do... Okay, I need to find this Vestini thing. Vestini. What? They're allied to our friends? How did I not find that before when I was looking? But they were right here. Okay, so they're allied to our friend. That's not good. We can pay money to get a fort in Rome, which would be useful for any defensive purposes. Let's do it. It will increase our expenditure quite drastically, but we now have a fort in Rome, and forts are not that common in the beginning of the game. Apparently this place starts with one, but other than that, very few places have it. Apparently capitals have it. So why the hell did I spend money for a fort again? Oh wait, we have a increase. Okay, never mind. We have a lot more now. We will have 3,000 men. Level 3 fort in Rome in the beginning of the game. That's quite a bit. Not gonna lie, that is quite a bit. So the question is, if we declare war on these assholes, we call in... Actually, what if we don't call anyone in? What if they get military access? That would be bad. That would be really bad. But if we don't call in the Palini, then could they reach? I'm not sure if they get any military access, but could they get it? Let's look at their friends or allies. Enemies. Do they have the Palini as rivals? Okay, so they probably won't get through there. Or want to. And these guys, the Piceni, have the Sabini as the rivals. So I don't think they will get through. If we declare war on them and not call in any friend at all, I don't think anyone would join in on their side. I really don't think that will happen. It's difficult though, because they have 4,000, 7,000, and then probably 5,000 men. Oh yeah, 12,000 men. And we have 8,000 men. Sure, if we go in and defeat the Volci army first, then they will only be about 8,000 men versus 8,000 men, which is much better odds. Though, if they do manage to join up together, it could be difficult. It could be difficult. So we'll see. And it's an interesting conundrum currently. Over here we have Ravenna. Interesting. And no Venice, as it turns out, as it hasn't been founded yet. We also have Hostilia, which is, I'm assuming, fairly hostile. Obvious joke right there. Probably pretty boring. Cartagena has announced Rome as their rival. Right. You wish. I mean, they do wish, I guess they have done it. Cartagena is way over here. Also, I didn't know you could do that to find the place, but why would they rival me? Because in that case I could have just done this, you know. Oh, I don't know where the Vestina is. Well, now I know. Okay, now I've learned. To the future. To the future. Alright, we have a corrupt governor. We can either let him be or send a new governor. We need the money. We'll spend the administrative power on doing other things. Alright, take a look at the ideas we have here. There's a lot of different ideas. I think most of them are just either the same or retooled from what's in the base game. Though infantry ideas is a pretty interesting one, especially for Rome, who relied a lot on infantry. Because here we have infantry combat ability, garrison size, infantry cost, morale of armies, skirmishers combat ability, which is good too, land attrition, and morale of navies, as well as 5% discipline when finished. And then we could go for like quality or something, for an extra discipline, and maybe quantity. Though offensive is also interesting. And so is defensive. Okay, basically the military ideas are pretty good. Diplomatic ideas, I've always had a problem with the diplomatic ideas in EU in general, mostly because I tend to fail every time I play a naval prominent thing. I always end up failing for some reason. So never had a good thing with them. The Volci now have 5,000 men, which is less good, because now in total they have 13,000 instead of 12. And also an initial more difficult neighbor to take down. So yeah, that's not good. That's not good. Another thing that would be nice, one thing that would be nice, I can put it this way, would be to have, as in Victoria 2, the log where you see all the wars in the world. Maybe you can. Actually, probably in the ledger. Let's have a look. You probably have the time running while we go into the ledger relations. Current wars. Oh yeah, of course there is. Okay, never mind. I take back my thing. That would be nice to have. Athena and Kefalenia versus Phoebe. Or Thebes. Archon. They played way too much Protoss. Let's see, Goddess, Thebes. Okay, here you are. Here you are. Are you winning or are you losing? They have 15 in development. I'm pretty sure they will lose against Athens. Athens is a bit too big for them. Especially since Athens have friends. Especially because of that. Alright, I think we are about ready to go to war, but we will do that in the next episode. I hope you've enjoyed this episode so far and look forward to more Rome in the ancient world. We'll see how far we get here. I mean, we were prepared for our first war against the Volsci, and after that, more on towards more wars to try to unify at least a part of central Italy to form a basis for Roman society to thrive in, and then look beyond that. So yeah, I hope to see you in the next episode. See you then, and have a great time in the meanwhile.